Hey, welcome loyalists, my friends, my patriots. How are you doing? Today we're going to have a good one. It's a hypothetical community plan that's been highly requested, and I really hope that you enjoy it. Stand by.
We interrupt this program. This is a national emergency. Important instructions will follow.
All right, my fellow patriots. If this is your first time here, I ask that you check out some of my other work. If I maybe missed you on this one, there's probably something else I've covered that you enjoy. Don't write off WarfighterBravo just yet. Definitely check out some of my other work. For those that are returning, thank you for your support. You guys are awesome. I really do appreciate it. The love that's been sent to my inbox, email, text messages, phone calls. It's amazing, and it's the motivation that keeps me going and keeps me fighting for the people. And that brings me to this topic today. Highly requested. I've done, really, I'll be honest with you, that last video I did on the community plan that I'm going to dig up, I've got some pressure on me right now, folks, because that one was really good. But the only problem was, I believe the downfall was it was so long. So let's dive into this. First of all, I'm going to provide other videos if you want to look in. This is kind of a disclaimer. So, disclaimer. This is a hypothetical situation. This is not to be done outside of entertainment purposes and all that other yada, yada, yada. Okay? Take what I say with any training that you receive out there. Take from it what you want. Okay? You don't have to copy it. I'm not going to go in depth. I can't possibly. It's just too much of a subject to cover. I'm going to post other videos that relate to what I'm talking about to kind of get your mindset where it needs to be and get you a little bit more immersed into the subject. So anyways, first and foremost, just what I mentioned right there. So emergency broadcast comes over telling you something's going down or the power goes out, phones are out, you're stuck. What is something that you can do to prepare for that situation? Oddly enough, most communities, okay, well, in 2022, let me take that back, not most communities, but some communities still gather around and do some small community things, whether it's picnics or like a garage sale day or all that kind of stuff. And those are perfect instances to incorporate this. But some of you are part of like HOAs where it's kind of a friendlier environment than some HOAs. It's like the freaking Wild West. But, and this is even for the people that are maybe 2 to 3 houses down this way, 2 to 3 houses down this way, and the people in front and behind you. So think of it like that. First and foremost is mindset. The first thing that's going to happen, I assure you, I've watched it so many times in 20 years of being in the tactical arena, 22 years of being in the tactical arena. And what I'm telling you is time and time again, people get way too ahead of themselves. Even if they're prepared for this, they don't think about the most major, vital thing in survival, which can kill you immediately. Boom. Mindset. It's going to hit you like a ton of bricks. It's going to be a meteor coming in, slamming hard. You're going to need to keep yourself out of shock. You're going to need to keep yourself operational. You're going to need to pull yourself into the moment. This is happening. This is happening. I am needed. I need to understand this is really happening right now, and now I need to act. What do I need to do? Sometimes this is a great time. You see, I have tons of books, survival books, freaking training books, everything. Up here. I have tons of books, okay? When the power goes out, guess what? Even the pros have to write things down. I know I have traumatic brain injury and PTSD from, IEDs and from heavy combat and 3 tours. But listen to me. Even the toughest warriors sometimes can get caught off guard, and all it takes is that 1 second. So mindset is crucially important, and with that, you can use books or anything like that. Like I have a hypothetical plan. What I like to do is like I'll have like a 7-stepper or something like that. I'll have some notes or whatever. Zach, read this. You need to act. This is happening, and this is what you need to do. I'll know if I need to reference something, like if I'm brain farting or if I'm, because it'll throw you. It can throw you into amnesia. It can throw you into, because the panic can hit, mental breakdowns can happen. It happens to the best of us. So one of the major things that I'll tell you with a community plan, get books. Books on survival, bushcraft, everything, hunting, gathering, foraging, medical, freaking plant life, everything. Your local stuff, get local maps, get a topograph map, but get a map that has laminate. Okay, so that way you can, there's really, really cool ones that you can actually ball up. I mean, they're amazing, and I'll try to get links for that stuff for you, but have your local area. But after we get mindset, and after we've already talked, hypothetically, we've already kind of had a neighborhood chat, we've already whatever. And that's the other thing. Start figuring out who's good at what. You also need to know who your neighbors are, because if something happens, you need to know if that person's going to be trying to come into your home for your supplies. So part of this is recon, security recon, to gather intel for possible opposition within your AO. This is serious, because these things happen. Ask Katrina, ask Andrew, ask friggin' Joplin, okay, when they had their F5. Sometimes it's not Russia, Ukraine. Sometimes it's not China, Taiwan. Why do you think I stay at the ready? This WarfighterBravo Rig 2 is just about to get built. I'm always prepared for these type of situations. Now listen, we get the mindset right. Now we know. We're finding out from our people. We've done the recon. We've done the freaking, look and check. I know that this, say for instance, okay, Tom is really good. He's a chef. He's got a garden in the backyard. And he's familiar with firearms. And his son is a gunsmith level person, a prior service Army chaplain's assistant. What does that mean? Great at friggin' mediation, great at de-escalation, great at calming people down. We have a spiritual leader within the group. Also, that's a veteran, highly trusted. You see what I mean? So you also need to be prepared. A good leader knows when to follow. If someone is better prepared than you are, hush, hush, hush yourself, quiet, fall in. Okay? Now, obviously, if they're not doing something right or whatever, then you have to have other conversations. It doesn't hurt to be a follower in those circumstances. If you are outranked, essentially in experience, okay, stand down. It's for the lives of everyone around you. Now is not the time to be prideful. There's no need for general patent. We are trying to save lives, okay? So we find out who's good at what. Then you need to start getting the mindset right that, okay, we need to set up an HQ. We need a centralized home that can be well defended. You need to look, what time of year is it? You have pools a lot of times in the summer times. Now in the winter, it's not going to be that available, but you know that you have these unique non-potable water sources unless you have heavy filtration, which I know the patriots that watch my video work are prepared, right? Okay, so if you're new, I'll have some other stuff for you that you need to start, at least getting prepared. You do not know the peace that comes from having this. You do not know the peace that comes from having the knowledge, from having the novels, from being able to research this, having all the medical kit. All this medical here, I'm almost surgical. I'm this close to having surgical capability. So find out who your key players are. You're going to need to set up those that can do kind of a quick recon. Maybe they know some people in the other neighboring neighborhoods. So you need to start getting some people to get some lines of communication out. But remember, your community knows each other. You don't know anybody outside the other community, and your number one enemy at this point is going to be the sheep that are losing control, hysteria. Remember the mindset thing? The opposite side that happens, okay? The absolute opposite is 28 days later, 28 weeks later, rage virus type stuff. Not zombies. Stop. Okay, work with me here. Metaphorically speaking, they act like people on PCP. Some of you that are my older crowd understand the PCP thing, especially all the freaking news and chaos that happened when it first came out. Some of my people in Florida know about Flocka or Crocodile if you're coming from Asia. There's these different things that make you feel like you're super freaking human and you can take extra shots. It's like being on adrenaline and a hardcore drug that basically numbs your body and makes you psychotic. That's along those same lines. Those people could be very hysterical, running, screaming, crying. You need to make sure that they're unarmed, and those type of things that I can elaborate on another video. But that's the part where you're going to have to assign kind of your spokesperson. Okay, they need to be capable, they need to be well aware of the area, and they also need to be able to de-escalate. It's not always going to be the biggest, baddest gorilla dude that you have in the lineup. Sometimes your negotiator could be an elderly man. Sometimes that's the best because your normal person, even if they're in hysterics, still, like, you know, they still have something of humanity there. And they're more likely to attack a female or a smaller male. It's just how it goes. Survival of the fittest. I mean, you will see humanity at its most primitive. And it is from wartime, from the countries I've been to, second and third world, and what I've seen. Please be prepared, okay? It'll be real. It'll be more real than you could possibly even fathom, okay? So, with that, you get past all that stuff. Now you need to identify the number one thing, again, people aren't thinking about. So after mindset, you're going to have to identify who needs medical care, urgent medical care. You know why this is important? You need to make sure they have enough insulin. You're going to find out that the statistics on addicts are a lot higher than you think. And you're going to find out that a lot of people in your neighborhood are addicted to some type of barbiturate or pain medication. Some people, it's from being on long-term chronic pain or long-term anxiety illnesses, all sorts of things. Regardless, some of these people are going to need to make sure they have medication. That is going to be a problem, which will lead into a whole nother, and I plan on doing a part 2 of this, okay, where I'm going to kind of go into those extras, all right? But you need to identify who needs what medication and who needs immediate medical care. Some of your people have collapsed in on themselves due to shock. Some of them have fainted. Some of them are trying to get a grasp on reality. They've had a mental break. You need to start essentially a hospital area. I can't, the word is escaping me right now. A triage. You need to set up and find out who is urgent, who is whatever. Now, communications are going to be down. Like I said, it's good to know medical stuff and all that kind of stuff. Thankfully, I know from doing my recon, I have 2 nurses right next door. Okay, so I know, actually I have 3 nurses. Wow, that actually worked out really good. And a landscaper and a home builder right next door. How crazy is that? I would have to dig in where I'm at, and that's another thing you're going to have to take a look at. Take a look at your surrounding areas. Is there any way to get out? Is there any way to get to your original bug out location, your prime location? Because those are some steps, because a lot of you are going to be caught in the city. And if you're in anywhere like mine, it is literally a death trap. Okay, traffic, they built it to where there's still 1 and only 2 lane roads in an area where there's 100,000 plus people. It's extremely dangerous. It's exactly why I know I'm probably not going to make it on the first wave. I'll do my absolute best, folks. But the reality is that it'll be so much worse than you could possibly imagine. That's why I'm urgently talking about this stuff and trying to train as many people, because I know I'm on borrowed time in most of these instances. So, and I will never stop trying to help you. I will save as many people as I can and providing whatever help I can. If it's the shirt off my back or if it's this video, whatever you need, I got you. You guys know that. So we identified medical, we have triage, we have all that set up. Now we need to identify water and food. How much do we have? most instances, if you look at it, a high statistical amount of circumstances are only 72 hours long, which is why there's a need for a 72-hour bag. I will be building a new bug out bag here very soon, and I will cover that. Make sure that you make sure also, I need you to go to my Bitchute. Okay, if I get kicked off of Facebook for talking about HB's laptop and electric cars and everything, I'm going to be over at Bitchute. Make sure you go over there, check out some of my other videos, but that's where I'm going to be posting a lot of my work too. But if I somehow disappear before I'm capable of like if something happens with Warfighter Bravo, you can find it there. Anyhow. So now we are getting food and water taken care of. Now you need to start if you have a large enough group of people, you need to start finding a defensible position. You need to set up an area where you can keep the kids happy, calm. Some people already have solar generators. If you don't, I would definitely look into that, or solar power, like battery power packs and everything. Start looking into that stuff. You also need to make sure you have a crankable solar emergency radio that you're listening to at all times. This is serious. Can you feel it? Just put yourself into that situation. The lights go out, the TV's off, and your freaking phone says no service. And the only thing that you can hear is maybe an emergency message getting through on a radio. These things happen. And they happen all over the world. You could be going on vacation. You could be at a family's house on vacation. So what I'm getting at is, once you're to this stage, the biggest thing is you need to make sure the children are okay, happy, keep their stuff powered, keep them on whatever you need to do. Keep them on video games. Our children are our future, and they need to be protected. They need to be safe. Do you understand? By every single ounce of your being, you will do everything you can, including sacrifice yourself if necessary for the children. Our kids are our future. They come first. First food, first water, first everything. And, of course, my dog comes in. Anyway, so let me pause. All right, we're back. That was my puppy Bo that just came in to say hello. So anyway, I'm trying to keep this under 20. I will have a part 2. Make sure that you subscribe to either Bitchute or make sure you're a follower of mine on Facebook, please. Also check out my website. I have links in the description below, which will take you to my blog, which also has a ton of guides I've written out. Okay. So anyhow, those are the initial steps, but you need to start providing hope, okay? Start to letting them know, listen, we're just holding out for the police that probably have already blue flued, but I'm kidding, don't say that. But in reality, law enforcement are probably not coming. It's going to be your National Guard. Law enforcement will have blue flued, gone home, whatever. They're not sticking around, as we've witnessed in 2020 and in the riots. So when chaos is happening, you basically need to tell your people, hey, we're going to be waiting on law enforcement. They're going to be coming, or National Guard. Typically in these circumstances, it can be anywhere from, 24 to 72 hours, but help is coming. Fake the funk if you have to. Create hope. Anything less will make people break. They will fall. They will sit, and they will get depressed, and they will eat away. They're not going to eat. They're not going to be anything but now a possible casualty of your situation. Hope saves lives, not doom and gloom. If anyone is being negative or anything like that, stop it immediately. Mindset is everything. Everybody's on mission. Idle hands, you start thinking about how bad things are, and then morale. Morale. Start building trust. Start showing people that, you care, that you've got the plan. 9 times out of 10, average everyday people will follow you if you have a plan. I have a plan. Raise your hand. Start identifying who knows what, that kind of stuff, just like I said in the video. Now, we're at a point here where I need to go into part 2. Okay? and I'm going to do my absolute best to start really talking about, okay, what happens after the 72-hour point and what happens after we have everybody triaged, everybody checked, and everybody's job assigned that they need to do. And now we have a somewhat defensible position, and now we have people watching out and everything like that. We will start part 2 off at that point. Thank you, guys. I'm trying to put in 2 hours into 20 minutes. Anyways, I think I can catch my breath now. Can you tell that I at least know something of what I'm talking about? Anyhow, guys, thank you so much. I really do appreciate everything. Thank you for your support. Please make sure you like and share, especially when it comes to something like this, when it's getting people's mindset right and all that stuff. Look, guys, I've talked to 1.5 million people a month at one point before censorship. Your one comment or like or share isn't going to make me famous, okay? Let's just save some lives, right? All right, thank you guys, and as always, I'll see you for the next one.